Alright, we're going to go over the setup for a Outback 29 UBH with a bunkhouse. So the overall length from bow to stern is about 33 feet. So you're towing a pretty long vehicle, so your wheel spacing between your vehicle and the trailer itself is going to be kind of wide. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. First, I wanted to kind of go over hookup process for hooking up the weight distribution hitch and the sway bars. It's a little bit involved, but it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. First of all, grab some gloves because everything's kind of metal and greasy and you can get nicked up or beat up. Back your vehicle up to the tongue of the trailer, obviously. And then there's two buttons here on the motor. One of them is just for the light if you're doing this at night. You can ignore that. You don't need to turn it on if you're doing this during the daytime. And then obviously there's extend and retract. If we press the retract button, which is actually the up button, it goes down onto the ball of the trailer. You want to drop it down onto the ball of the trailer until you kind of get it to where there's a point where it's firmly seated there. Just like that. We'll stop and drop our lock down, and then just go ahead and set our pin real quick so that we're locked in there. Next step I like to do, just as I'm over here, is to put the chains on. If they're too long, you can give them a little twist. Untwist them if they're too short, twist them if they're too long. There's one and two. Okay, so obviously the next step is just to hook up this emergency release while we're down here. You want to hook it up to the vehicle, on the vehicle side of the hitch. Just in case anything were to come release, it'll pull the electronic brakes on the trailer and lock them up so the trailer doesn't keep rolling down the road. Next step, we have a 7-pin plug for the electronic brakes on the trailer and the lights. We want to plug that in, make sure we get it seated. And then after that, we're going to hook up the weight distribution bars and the sway bars. Weight distribution bars are really neat, take a lot of the load off the tongue, and the sway bars obviously just makes the job a lot easier while you're towing. Trailer this size, length, with semi-trucks and that sort of thing, you don't want to tow it without sway bars. We have two of them on here. You don't necessarily need them, it's not that heavy, but it just makes it a lot easier once again. The sway bars are labeled with a D and a P, obviously driver's side and passenger side. So you just want to take a look at that when you're putting these on. There's a small pin here, we're going to pull that. There's another small pin here, pull that. There's two balls, one here and one here, that are for the sway bar. The sway bar off is to loosen, on is to tighten. Want it in a loose position, extend the bar.